Hello, this is Tobyman X1 with a video here on the new character Diona, 4-star Cryovision Archer. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, aside from just her profile, these are actual cat ears, the cat's line blood in her. Let's talk about the thing that we're all here for, the weapons and artifacts to put on her based on her talents. So, start with her talents. So, pretty regular stuff you see if you're a bow. 5 consecutive shots, aim shot with increased damage, and the aim shot, with fully charged, has the type of damage that the of the vision that belongs to the character. So in her case, it's cryo. Next, icy paws, more cryo damage. Looks like you have a rapid fire and a hold. This dash back quickly is actually in form of a backflip, just FYI. So this does actually work as like a mini dodge, actually. And just by the way that the skills are worded and the way that they appear in battle, it seems that there are benefits to using both just the rapid fire and the hold attack based on your knowledge of the character. So that's important to take stock of. Now, more cryo damage, but instead this also has a continuous cryo damage AoE and a continuous HP regeneration AoE based on the HP of the characters. So, let's go back to Icy Paws real quick and check out these skill attributes. Sorry about that. So, certain damage per paw at level 1, certain amount of max HP, plus the 693 here, and the duration is 1.8 seconds per claw. So right now, if I was to land all 5 claws, doing a little bit of quick math, let's see. 1.8 times 5. So right now, her maximum shield duration is going to be about 9 seconds at level 1. At level 8, it does go up to about 12 seconds, as we've seen, and as we will see in the trial fight. Now let's go to signature mix, this damage, and then skill damage. So nice little bonus damage, HP regeneration over time. And this seems to actually go up as the skill goes up. And because the HP regeneration scales with the HP of the one receiving it, it seems as though putting on a maiden set probably won't increase how much they get healed. But I will be sure to test it and make sure. So, let's just talk about weapons. So I'm just going to talk about the bows that are currently out and why you would use each bow. This is just a quick overview. If you guys like this video and comment and you would like more, I'll do my best to go more in depth, get more information about how to use each skill, and really how to optimize her. But these are just beginning tips and suggestions as the character just came out, right? So starting from the beginning of the 4-star bows, let's start with the bows that we're not going to use. So typically, where she probably won't benefit from the Blackcliff Warbow after defeating an enemy, seems like too conditional. Let's see. She probably won't be using the Rust Bow, at least not for optimal builds. Probably not the Royal Bow either. So those 3 bows are probably bows that you are I would want to say immediately just off looking at them, suboptimal. The Favonius Warbow, the Stringless, the Alley Hunter, are probably among the top 4-star bows that you want to use. The compound bow also fits. So those are the 4 bows. The stringless and the Favonius bow are going to be primarily for her support and sub DPS builds. She can still do damage with both of these bows. The other bows, like the Alley Hunter and the compound bow, are going to be focusing more on dealing damage specifically just from like her normal attacks, and then also increasing her overall attack, which is just going to contribute to all of her damage. So her physical damage from her arrows and the crowd damage that she deals in general. So those bows are, I bring them up, and I say these bows because we're looking for stuff that is going to mesh with her kit really well, and then also just serve the purpose for what you have her built for. The Amos bow and the Skyward Heart bows are both wonderful bows for any archer. For her, they are for damage purely. They don't really add anything else, and they seem to be focusing on the damage purely from her attack, and the physical damage that she's going to be doing with her bow when they land. So every bow, of course, will require a different build, right? Just because you're putting the bow on them for different reasons. However, in terms of 5-star bows, both the Amos and the Skyward are great. Once again, the compound, the Alley Hunter, the stringless, and the Favonius bow, I would say, are her best options as 4-star bows for both damage and the ability to support the team, and the ability to just like control reactions. So she is a mixologist, so do not be afraid to, for lack of a better term, like use her as your focal point for reactions. Like anything that can use ice, she'll be there to add that little kick that you needed for damage, and then you can get a shield out of it, get some increased movement speed, and then further optimize it by your team building. So yeah. Wow. And then now we can go back over, now that we have an understanding of the weapons and kind of a small rationales why we're doing it, we'll just go over some real select sets real quick. Think about how we can maximize what it is that she's doing. So Berserker, if you're wearing the Favonius War Bow, getting more crit on her is good. A main stat crit piece might be more necessary than Berserker, and Berserker doesn't really do anything for her more than just give her crit. Martial Artist set I think would be fantastic if you're trying to give her, if you're trying to do damage with her. You're trying to make her a primary DPS or just a sub DPS right behind your main one, but you still need her to hit and at least do something. The Martial Artist set I think is fantastic because after using your elemental skill, increases your normal and charge attack damage by 25% for 8 seconds, so that it both goes to the physical damage just from the regular arrows and the charge attack damage from your cryo damage from the charged arrow. So it's really nice. I think Martial Artist set, you're definitely not going to go wrong investing in that for DPS. An Instructor set, wonderful for sub DPS, and basically just a reactionary build. It gives you elemental mastery, and upon triggering a reaction, increases everyone's elemental mastery. So basically everybody is now doing elemental damage reactions, and you essentially have that 8 seconds to just go off with your team, but there's no cooldown, and it doesn't say it doesn't stack. So in the duration of the 8 seconds, to just keep it from going down, you can just drop it. So every 6 seconds, essentially, so this mastery is always up, like basically with her skill, if you so choose. It's really nice. Gladiator's Finale, it's not for her. We can go ahead and skip that. The Exile, unless you are if you're going to put this on her, I would not suggest doing it for damage, as you will need a lot of energy recharge and to have her out front a lot in order to make sure she's receiving energy from reactions to make this work. It's not impossible, but I don't think it's super optimal. Wanderer's Troop is really nice. The bow increased charge damage is a playstyle thing, but I don't think that you'll get a lot out of it. It's not really optimal. The Scholar is really nice. This right here, you might be able to get away with just a single energy recharge piece. If you're not wearing this, I would suggest energy recharge main piece and a lot in the substats, if not a second piece, and then focusing on everything else you need in the substats. But that is up to you. Then let's see, just as far as things go, Braveheart's really nice just because it increases all of her damage across the board and gives her attack, so that's another set you can use for damage if you don't have another set in mind. Noblesse is okay, but once again, you do have to really invest in the energy recharge for her. Favonius Warbow once again becomes one that is like really good for a lot of options, a lot of builds for her. And then there isn't really any other sets that give her anything that are going to really go along with her kit optimally. I mean, you can put anything on her as long as you have what you need for the most part. But the last set that we're going to talk about is the Retracting Bolad. This set right here, she's constantly putting up a shield. Her shield is up every 6 seconds if you so desire, right? So this additional damage, this is going to get damage done from your bow. This set would be really nice with like a Geo setup in your team, in addition to having more an offensive bow. Like this is going to be for an offensive build. As a 2-piece, you can definitely change it up for a defensive build. Especially if you don't want to focus on energy recharge, but you want her to use her ult a lot. You can adjust your playstyle to just have her out front, constantly proccing reactions, switching people out. That's typically what happens for a main DPS, but with her shield, she can definitely stay out in the battle longer, or give that ability to anyone else. So, super versatile character. She is indeed a mixologist, and there are several sets you can put on her. It just depends on what you are after. So thank you guys for bearing with me. Like, comment, and subscribe. About the theory, I think that is one of the things that I can offer the community right now. And then as time goes on, I'll try and familiarize myself with the base stats and all the calculations and try and make some more in-depth videos here. But thanks everybody for watching, sitting through, and I hope everybody has a nice day. Take care. Konbanwa, oyasumi nasai, good evening, good night, peace. Don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe.